This is Mr. Hanna and welcome to What the Format. Today we're going to go over real briefly the 5 ways to find the slope. There's actually 6, but the 6th way is for calculus. When we get to a point where we're having enough algebra videos on here, I'll start throwing some calculus videos on here and we'll go over that 6th way. It involves the derivative of a function. For those of you taking calculus, that's why you're finding the derivative. It's going to give you the slope of a line that's tangent to your curve at that particular x value. But for our Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 students, these are the 5 ways that you find the slope. One, it's given to you. They'll just flat out tell you the slope is or m equals. That's very common. Number 2, they'll give you a graph, and off the graph you'll have to read the slope. So you'll have to know how to take from one point on the graph to another point the rise over the run. Now, be really careful on a graph. A lot of times when students do the rise over the run, they see the run and they tend to put that on top because it really naturally on the graph, when you do the slope, you'll have something like this on your line, and you'll have a number here, say like 4, and the number there 3. A lot of students will put 4/3. That's a natural way to look at it, but the slope is actually 3 over 4. Okay, so the slope is 3/4. Be very careful when you get to that. Also, you need to make sure you pick points that are on the graph, not just any random place on the line. You need to know have points you can definitely see, because sometimes on a graph it's not as exact as you would like, and if you think it was on a point and it isn't, your slope's going to be wrong. Then you're going to have 2 points. If you watch my slope video, that's the way we did it. I had 2 points. That's your m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So get very familiar with this. Make sure you have that memorized. That's a math fact. That's what you use to find the slope between 2 points. And you can be parallel to a line. Parallel to the line, they have the same slope. So this is the same slope right here. And then you have perpendicular to a line, which is opposite reciprocals. There's that word again. If you've watched my dividing fraction videos, I warned you not to do the keep, change, flip, and to memorize that when you divide one fraction by another, you multiply the fraction you're dividing by, that becomes a reciprocal. So you multiply by the reciprocal of the fraction you're dividing by. That's because when you get to perpendicular lines, they have to have opposite reciprocal slopes. If you're not used to thinking in terms of reciprocals, when you get to perpendicular lines, it can be rather difficult. But these are the 5 ways that you find the slope. Okay. Now, once you find the slope, I'm going to teach you in the next video how to find the y-intercept using y equals mx plus b, and then we'll teach you how to go from slope-intercept form to standard form, and then finally we'll do a video on how to do point-slope form. That's really straightforward. You just plug it in. Is the easiest way to do it. Anyway, this has been Mr. Hanna. This is the 5 ways to find the slope. Thank you for watching What the Format. Happy mathing.